Hello, hello. Let's see, is this better? Can you hear me now? It's showing me audio output at least now. Ah, cool. Let me mute myself again. Yeah, good evening. So, a long time since I've been recording and streaming now, and it's just been work and real life stuff, so. But a little bit of interesting weather up north in Norway, so thought that could be a cool little flight or two, just a quick jump from Evenes to Andøya and then maybe up to Tromsø as well. Moving to Rudder, congratulations, the windy city. So what are you doing in Rudder then? Let's see here. Approach to I want to. Hi, David. I just want to figure everything out because this flight's very quick. I don't know. We don't need an approach at all. If the weather is good, they would just fly this pretty much one waypoint visual straight in. Yeah, okay. So you're not helping to move the airport? You can do RNAV via IVGAM, that seems fine. I think. Yeah. If or not, visual will do the straight in through too. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Let's see. Where are my checklists now? There it is. And we will need today, what did our flight plan say? Or OFP? It said we want 1800, yeah, well, we'll do at least 2000 then. Full fuel, 2000 kilos or thereabouts. During my recording of the climb videos, I've noticed several things I want the developers to check. One of them we'll check after we do the load here. I have a feeling that loading it on this EFB doesn't always give us the correct loading in the or in X-plane. Let's see. Now this should give us almost 25 tons. And if you saw my climb videos, I don't want to max out this aircraft. On Discord, there was even a message from, let's see, who was it? From Jack in the systems department. He just said, I need to fix this. So hopefully the next version does fix it. Temperature was 12 degrees 1024, gusting 39, so we'll have a look at the crosswind. 12. We'll just leave this. Confirm and fast load. So this should give us a gross weight of 25 tons. What? Yeah, okay. So this time it updated it in X-plane as well. We'll see when we load up in Andøya. I think it's gonna bug out. It has done it so many times when I'm restarting the aircraft over and over and over. So we'll just see what happens. Good. Okay. Flight plan. 7S. And first waypoint here. We'll do. And Valley. And accept. We don't need more. Let's just enter Andøya. And the departure 17 at the moment. Avani to Echo. That we'll double check that, and arriving Andøya will just do runway 32. No star on a Zulu 32. IVGAM as transition, and that's fine. No, doesn't show a code here. Okay, we'll double check that. Okay, no link, just remove it. Fuel 2030. I'm gonna do some real performance calculations on this one. So I have my iPad in front of me, and the aircraft I'm simulating has a basic weight for normal operations of 18,454. I've never seen a Dash 8 under 18 tons basic weight. And we said 51 passengers plus 4 crew gives us 55 on board. 0 weight on the packs. And I never liked the way they're doing this. We're gonna end up on 25 tons. That's the most important part. Let's try. That's too low. Need trial and error. Yep, that's fine. Close enough. It doesn't really matter what you put in there anyway. It will help us a little bit on the calculations, but nothing really critical. So we're just gonna do this. 55 souls on board. Total cargo, that's both the baggage and passengers. And crew actually as well. So we're 2 crew, 2 cockpit, 2 cabin. And we will set UNH 1024, reading 110. That's set and cross-checked, and we can do the pre-flight checklist, I guess. So, flight deck checked. That means we've checked all the circuit breakers, oxygen, everything here looks good. We have hydraulic fluid, fuel, everything. Checked all the emergency equipment, and checked in the floor to see that the alternate gear extension lights work. Checked oxygen masks, yeah, everything. So checked left and right. Battery switches, 4 on, reading 27.8 volts, and that's due to ground power. This can be low, so you might have a discharge if you have a bad GPU. Altimeters 1024, reading 110. Park brake on, fuel 2030. Seat signs on, checklist complete. Good. One of the things I want FlyGSim to fix are these blown out graphics. And to lessen it a little bit, at least now when it's not sunlight outside, you can dim it. And also all the rotary switches for overhead lighting, etc. I'm running it at 1 step up, and this is basically what you would see in the cockpit real life. So I don't know. This is just way too much. Was that lightning? There shouldn't be lightning here, but I know wherein explains what is it, 12.3, whatever, the weather beta. So I noticed they have commented on other streamers testing that the lightning is too intense. It's over stimulated. Let's see, my controls are connected, yeah. Go around, heading, altitude select, and the initial climb on the Avani departure is flight level 90, and we'll use that as final today as well. No need to go higher on this route, it's just up and down. Good, and we have FMS2 here and FMS1 on the other side. That's as it should be. VR1, FMS2 on right side and opposite over here. And didn't Evanes have... Do they have a VOR? Yeah, they do. 1735. We'll tune 1735, both sides. Good, and if we want to return to Evanes, it's 108.9 for the ILS 17. We'll tune that as a backup and change the nav source here, and we can do 170. We just have that as a backup source if we want to quickly change over and fly back in here. No need to set up an RNAV. I'll remove this navigramp stuff. Yeah. And that's good. The next up would be the clearance, but that's just gonna be Widerøe 9 Victor Mike. Here to Andøya. Avani to Echo departure, climb flight level 9 0, squawk 2532. So let's say 2532. Put that up as the active. We can select transponder, expand, and I want TARA to look above when we're climbing. And it's TARA, it's C1. And that's fine. Go back to page 1 and 2 button, and we'll put this in active when we get going. Everything else looks good. It's cut off, flap 0, and flight idle. Everything here is good. We'll do the normal, just turn off all the lights in the cabin, and then close the door. That removed some of the glare of the screens here. Good, good, good. Let's power up the APU, and we can do a push and start. So the fuel valve is open. Push start. And
round to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
we can drive up. Let's see. Yeah, we can drive up and we'll pre-plan him. The important is when you're starting the APU, all of the batteries and master switch needs to be on.
Okay, all
If you
doors
don't,
and
you're
hatches
just
are
gonna
closed.
kill the
Ready
aircraft
to
or
connect.
make it dark, and yeah, you kind of have to do a reset of it at that point. Batteries off, wait a few minutes, put it back on. You might be lucky as well, but the starter power is usually more than the GPU can supply on its own, so you need the batteries just to remove the spike. So when the generator is showing warn, you can activate it and remove external power. It goes to on, and you will see that the load is on the APU generator. So that's good. That means we can disconnect the GPU. Everything here is closed. We'll verify the doors like this. Everything's closed here. What you might see here is it's an old, pretty simple aircraft. There is sensors on all the doors, just I think it's magnetic sensors, proximity sensors. So one thing I saw last time when I was at work was ground crew checked the forward cargo hold for luggage. They very rarely do that, but they did, and it looked closed, but we got a door warning here, so they just had to open and close it one more time, and it disappeared. So no problems there. So we are on the APU, we are loaded, we have packs, we have a route, we have entered the numbers here. So the next thing, let me just do a very quick life calculation. What was the holds? Can we see? 262 and 469. I want to see how close this gets to the real world numbers. And that gave me a little bit over. So they're using different passengers' weight here. Let me just try to correct those a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm doing real world calculations within 100 kilos. That's fine for me. And I'll update the weather quickly. Let's see, what numbers does the aircraft give us? This is another bug, or maybe a different operator standard. The first number is V1, VR, V2, and then you have VFRY and VFTO as the two final speeds. VFRY is flaps retraction speed, and VFTO is final takeoff speed in case of one engine climb out. And the logic thing is have increasing numbers. For some reason, they don't do that here. I don't know why. So we'll calculate 17 RCC5 wet, reduce takeoff power, flap 5, and my EFB gives me 116. That's fine. 124, 125, 134, and 146. As you can see, it's within 3 knots was the biggest difference. And as I said, I want to have it my way, so we're doing increasing numbers like any sane person would do. Good. And yeah, you need to put those on both sides. Not really a big deal here. We'll just do it then. 34, 46. Good. Let's hope we don't need that today. And departure brief is well, okay. Let's do this properly. We have the departure here. The Evani to Echo departure. That's plate 10-3, effective date 4th of September 25. And the initial climb is 170 track, Echo Victor 405, Elven, Rormy, and then it's is wrong. Rormy, Evani. Interesting. Let me pull up my Jeppesen app as well. Let's see. We're gonna Evanes and Sid. Evani to Echo. They have actually a misprint. Ah, that's the first time I've seen. This is an actual misprint in the real Jeppesen database cards as well. Huh. That's a little bit cool actually to find that. Anyways. Transitional to 7,000, no big deal. We'll just do 9 or 0, passing over the MSA of 6,900. So it's just straight ahead, right turn, right turn, right turn, and then we're at Evani. We'll calculate a top of descent as soon as possible. Follow the RNP down into Andøya, Andenes. That's just going to be straight in, and we'll have a look at that in the air. Quite a low minima there, so there shouldn't be any problems coming in. That's fine. And that looks good as well. HSI is on my side. We have heading go around altitude select. Flight level 900 is set. For acceleration altitude in case of engine failure, we're gonna switch this to MDA and increase it to what my EFB says. That's 1292. So that's gonna be 1300. So that's when we would retract the flaps, use the V-fry speed if we have engine failure before that point during the departure on the runway, for example. Very good. Let's have a look, and we can do beacon to red. Check that the hatch is closed, landing gear alternate release door is guarded. And you check that the props are cleared left and right side. Let's see. Okay.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
So Evanes, I think you would mostly actually just turn and taxi out these days. If you're surrounded by aircraft, that might be a different thing, but there is quite a lot of space. We will do a push here just to do it and do the push and start procedure. And at least my operator, they used to never do APU starts, almost never previously, but that's shifting trend. It saves actually a few minutes of block time, and the economy of starting the APU is actually pretty good, so we'll just do it like this. We can see that APU has started pull fuel from the left tank. It's used 10 kilos, so it's not pulling much anyway. Good. So we'll say that ground is done with her pre-departure checks. As usual, the cones are still here, but we'll ignore that. Start checklist is doors, fueling lights are out. They are down here. Anti-collision is red and engines are cleared left and right side. Checklist complete. Ground from cockpit. We are ready for push. Park brake is released. This is just the strange thing with better pushback. We never do the lift push type of tug. It's just straight pushing.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Thank you very much. And starting number 2. As usual, the NH is rising way too fast. Fuel flow. Oil pressure is rising. And we'll not forget the transponder. That's the starter cutout. Captain can get his screens back. So everything looks fine there, and start select switches out. Checking battery, it's below 0.3, always in the sim. And starting number 1. Introduce the fuel and fuel flow. Oil pressure is rising, hydraulic is rising, and everything starts up. Good, that's 2 good starts. Just wait for the start
Operation
select to go
complete.
out.
Set parking brake.
Park brake, set, you may disconnect. Have a
Disconnecting
nice
cow.
day.
Stand by.
Good, start selects out. Generator off. APU off. If you don't do this, as soon as you take off and have weight off wheels, you're gonna hear a ping, get a caution light and the APU will shut down by itself. And that will be recorded in the tech log. Gas pressure, yeah, okay, that's a known bug as well. It's fluctuating before you increase the engines or the props. And I would like to have...
So is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
It's dark, I can try to do this. I don't want to have dome lights on if I can avoid it. It's just too much. Cool, and we have props up. While they were spooling, the first officer would press the decrease button 5 times. Full reduction, unless you have wind shear, of course. Then we can go back here and we would take weather today, but that doesn't work yet. But they're working on it, so that's cool. Let's start with the captain's flow. First tie off. We would need a little bit of anti-ice today. Warm up the side windows. And we can just put this on at the same time. I'm not gonna worry about bleed on the ground today. And everything else looks good here. Test the spoilers. And engage the yaw damper. Rudder test. Put weather radar to standby so it can warm up. Let's just bring the engines into ground mode. You would do that when you're spooling up the props. Good, and steering, it goes on. First officer, as soon as the AC generators come online, set the flaps to 5. And hot feather, tank aux pumps, standby hydraulics, test the hydraulic 3 isolation valve, put it on, do an elevator test, turn it off, guard it, and push the elevator to decrease the pressure. Another inaccuracy, let's say. So, upstart checklist. First time, off, spoilers, taxi, standby hood P2U on normal indications, auto fan select, tank aux pumps on, trims 1, 2, 3 set, flaps 5 set and checked, all clear, received, checklist complete. So Widerøe 9 Victor Mike, request taxi. Runway 17 full. I have taxi light on, and let's taxi from the left side. There we go. So the taxi routing here is straight out, just Yankee to Alpha 1. Yeah, I think the taxiing is pretty realistic. Well, the power, well, I think this may be accelerating a little bit more, but the feeling of being able to turn on a dime, that's very realistic, since you have very good turn radius and you can even free cast through the nose wing. So this aircraft, I don't react really to that. I think the other add-ons, well, at least not the simulators with ground friction, well, issues, let's say, are much worse. The FS Labs A321, I've never taxied an Airbus, but that thing, well, I feel it's all or nothing. But this one is pretty linear and fine. I am having to turn towards the wind here, though, so I think there might be some modeling issues there as well, but it's pretty good. So, if we are clear to line up, let's do lights, lead this off, cabin call, spoilers to flight. No, we do that after a full control test, left, right, neutral, up and down, neutral, and then we, as we were taxiing, we would of course have gotten cabin cleared, right side, cleared left side, TA, need to check that the transponder is on, lineup checklist, is caution one light clear, cabin clear received, flight controls checked, spoilers, flight checklist complete. So we are on runway 17 heading 170. We have V1 116 VR 124, down to 90 and TA, down 90, altitude select, transponder checked. Let's go, let's bring power levers out of the detent and get going. Set power detent, power set, a little bit of right aileron, 80 knots. See, the airspeed is gusting here. V1, rotate. Positive rates, gear up. And I forgot to change the heading. Let's not worry about that right now. Very gusty here. Gear up check. Select LNAV. LNAV selected. 400 feet. Flaps 0. And flap 0 checked. Set climb power 900. Autofeather goes off. And climb power back to 900. This would be about a point where we would be sent over to an approach sector. We'll do autopilot, indicated airspeed 185. And after takeoff flow for a pilot monitoring would be to turn off hydraulic and fuel pumps. Check that the gear is up and all the lights out and the flaps is up, both the lever and the indicator. We are in plus 6 degrees. It's gonna get colder here now. Let's sync the heading back quickly. Ice protection props. So we'll do the props on, increase ref speed. Check that we're not very low on speed doing that, or else you can get a warning stick shaking. And let's not forget, bleeds on when doing the flaps up. That's pilot monitoring throw. Or else you're gonna get a warning or burst portion like that. Okay, everything looks good. We're climbing out. And I think this is a pretty reasonable climb, so it flies or climbs pretty close to accurate when you're on medium to low weights. So just do that, and it's a good enough add-on for now. gonna be interesting getting weather radar as well. So let's just see, everything here is on. We'll do taxi light and approach lights off until 10,000. Leads are on and we'll set standard. Standard passing 6, 8, set and cross check, climb checklist. Gears up, flaps 0, pressurization check, so check bleeds on, norm or max. Dump is in auto and we have climbing pressure. And then it's altimeters, standard, checklist complete. Since the weather is bad, we would climb at least 185. Pre-level, standard, -0. Did it give us any higher here? Actually, 130. Okay, let's try 130 since it's climbing so fast here. Flight level 130 set, altitude select. We'll continue IS, but we can do 210 now. That's a normal upper level climb speed. Heading comes around. Right now, this add-on is behaving exactly as I would expect it to in the real deal as well. Now we're just monitoring, having a look at the climb, making sure it's capturing 130. Since we're in -degrees and pretty heavy moisture, I would almost expect to see ice build up right now. But no, not yet. Hey, we're getting on top as well. Cool. Over 10,000, lights go off. There, ice detected, so boots fast. And yeah, it starts inflating first outer, then it's moving inwards. Let's just monitor here as well. So it's moving inwards, and you can see here it's doing alternate inner and second inner on both wings. And that's pre-level 130. Altitude captured, and we'll do cruise power 850 max cruise. We are filed a speed of, let's see, pass 306, a little bit more. Another thing I want to show is it's gonna also alternate engine intakes. So you're not gonna get both engine intakes inflating and perhaps releasing ice into the engines at the same time. There has been several cases where you're not getting a full flame out. Well, it has happened as well, at least on 300. But you can at least have a noticeable effect if you're ingesting a lot of ice. So doing that on 2 engines at the same time, that would just be bad business. We're about 306 here. We'll then reduce. Let's try about 50-55. You need a little bit more power when you're at low level. Maybe we need almost 60. Cool. Let's start preparing. We need well, we don't need, I want a VNAV. Let's do 2000 today. So we're almost at top of descent. We have already entered the RMP. Let's just quickly double check it. Havani, Ivgan, and Hitler. Let's see. Hitler, and then it's Absol, that's final approach fix. Let me check that, 1500. It's coming in already. Let's just say that we are already cleared to 7,000 feet. I'll find the QNH soon. Vertical speed, minus 500 is a good start. Arm the VNAV, and it's gonna nicely just follow the curve over. And the weather at Evenes, 250-18, gusting 3-2. A little bit of rain, 1021 on the QNH. So everything happens very quickly here, and imagine the guys flying in the low Fulton area or around the coast with the 100s, 200s. They have, let's say, what's the quickest route? 13 minutes or something? So you're pretty much doing everything on the ground. Remember to come down on the power, increase the range a bit here, see what's happening. There we can see them approach, so it's looking reasonable. I'm not going to release the cabin with flying in clouds. We would most likely have some turbulence. We can put one light on. We don't have ice, so we can turn the boots off. Just leave the props when there's a risk of icing. VNAV captured. So that's going to start increasing the descent rate. 1021 is set, cross-checked at 12,400 feet. The approach is set. Let's just quickly find minima here and brief it. So we're going to reduce this to 270 feet. Is the minima on the barrel. Good. I'm just going to set it on one side and no problem. So, keep an eye on the speed here. Remember about 240 when we reach 8,500 feet. And we have already checked the FMS, just read it here. So this is the RMP Zulu 32 at Andøya and 12-2 plate. Diagnosed channel, we couldn't check it in this FMS. We can in the real aircraft. Final approach course 322, final approach fix, absolve 1005, and runway is at, it's almost sea level, 17 feet. We're going to come in at IVGAM 4,000 feet. Widerøe we can go to 25 and absolve 1005. Here are the mountains already. Check the speed, and we're going to reduce. Let's say we are cleared to 4,400 feet and cleared RMP approach. If they say cleared RMP approach, that means when we are getting close to IVGAM or passing it, and we see that we are crossing above or at the altitude restriction, we are responsible for setting the new altitude ourselves. Watch the speed here. We're gonna get this. I'm gonna go vertical speed. Come on. This is one of the bugs that I think is very related to the prop modeling. The aircraft is not slowing down as it should. It can be difficult to slow down using the autopilot, so you might have to use the control wheel steering button on the yoke in the real aircraft, and that so you can just manually pull back a little bit on the yoke, slow down, and then intercept the glide again. If you're coming off the glide a lot, you can do a VNAV 2 to IVGAM, for example. Enter, so you can see what you need here, and it would sync up again. We can just do 2000 and arm the VNAV again, and it will automatically capture the profile. If it gets too steep, another thing you could do is go vertical speed and fly tidal. Just dive down, and at that point you can use high speed as long as you can, then just level off and get to low speed and intercept it at a better rate later on, in case you have to both go down and slow down at the same time. Very hard in this add-on since the drag profile is a bit messed up. I will read this again, I keep forgetting it. So approaching 4004, and we are gonna be high here. Let's do 2,500 feet. And altitude select. Let's check, approach is armed. When that goes to active, we can remove the altitude select. For speeds, I can, let's see, what's the landing weight here? 24.7. Let's do flat 15. It's gusting, so I will use condition level max. It's a wet runway. And I'm getting 1845, so not too far off, but I want to change 1845. Keep the speed coming down now. We're a bit high on speed. RP is approach active, altitude select goes off, speed keeps coming down. Missed approach was 2,000 feet. We'll set 2,000 feet in the selector. Let's say cabin clear. It's plus 7 degrees. That would
2,500.
Ice protection comes off. 2,500. Radio height 1021, passing 2004. Approach checklist, should have done that. Approach briefing complete. VRF 118, altimeter is 1021, complete. Next is landing checklist. Speed is fine, keep it 190, 200, just be ready to configure. From the final approach fix, we have 4.5 miles, so about 6 miles now, so we'll start configuring. Flat 5, gear down, that means bleeds to min, and bleeds min is connected to flaps 5, cabin call is connected to gear down. Next we need to be below 170, we are closing in on the final approach fix. 1,500 there, that's final approach fix, altitude checked, flaps 15, message, no RNAV lag, okay. Let's just keep it coming back to about 140 now. Condition levels max, landing checklist. Gear down for a green, flaps 15 set and check. Condition levels max, swings checked, left and right side for ice. And cabin clear received. David, I think it used to be better, contact. Because from the comment Jack gave, it seemed like he did something to change what, idle prop speed or something like that, and that messed up something. So maybe running an older version would fix one thing but then break another thing. Okay, let's land this. I can see the speed is jumping around with the gust, so I'm not going to go low on the speed. Autopilot disengage.
500.
Very long runway here. But this is where we need the prop modeling to be better. There's just in the real aircraft.
Terrain.
Goddamn terrain warnings. I only get it in the dash. Going high, decrease power, going to nose down. That's a gust. This is a long runway. We can land halfway down
100.
and not have any issues at all.
50, 40, 30, 20,
And
10.
deep breath. Oh god. That's a firm landing. So the terminal is all the way on at the end. Oh, is it here? Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I think so. With the flaps up. First tie comes off and the ice goes off. Landing lights, strobe goes to red. Spoilers comes down. I think this was it the right way? Or is the scenery one? No. Your damper comes off. Oh god, I forgot the bumps. Well, that happens in real life as well. Let's at least put the hydraulics on. That's what you need to power the brakes if the engines quit. Good, and Weather Rider comes off with sys, you sys on the screens. Maybe I did the wrong turn off here. It doesn't matter. It's supposed to be all the way over here. But I think this scenery might be missing something. We'll just park up here. Do a quick turn. A normal turn here would be 25 minutes. We'll do it quicker. Park brake set, taxi light comes, that was off again. And we'll feather the props. 30 seconds cool down. Can turn off the pumps. Transponder. It should come off. Hard to fly a single pilot all the time. Good, cabin can be released. Let's put the logo light on. Leads come off and emergency lights come off as well. That's 30 seconds. Do we have ground power yet? Yes, we do. Shut down. Good. And finally, the beacon goes off. And as soon as the props stop spinning, this should let us unload. What was the flight time here? It was 19 minutes. Less than 300 kilos of fuel used. That's pretty good. So, the thing that takes the most time during a turnaround is getting passengers on and off. We have, if we want to, we can have the aircraft set up for the next route before the passengers are out, especially if you have a full aircraft. So what we do, first note the numbers you need in the EFB. From this page, you actually don't need anything else than the landing. Then I go to the perf page and get the ESAD. So that's the, what is it? It's the distance you've traveled corrected for the winds. So the ground distance is this, and then if the aircraft spends longer traveling over the same distance due to headwinds, you're gonna get a higher number. And opposite, if you get a tailwind, the aircraft is gonna feel it sort of like less distance. So that's just it. So we're noting that, so the statistics on the flight planning and performance department, there's several departments that look at these statistics. So after that, we can go to flight plan, menu, delete flight plan. And let me quickly just jump into my browser. I'm gonna say new flight. What was the number? To Tromsø, that's 866. 866. And I'll quickly generate a new flight. 32218, that's good. Generate, and back here, let's unload, import. There we are. So, ENAN, we are gonna depart. Let's look at the OFP here. What do they suggest today? Direct Gilgu. Okay, do we have any departures going that way? No. No, there are no departures here. That's fine. Gilgu. And David, about Jack and the team taking the feedback, it seems like they do. And I'm gonna make a bug video as well, just going through what I found. But looking at the activity on Discord, I don't know how much they're working on this. I hope it's still being worked on regularly, but yeah, I don't know. And from what I've heard from Majestic, that's a next year kind of project. They're working away on it, but I think they just redid the whole thing from the ground up. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to test that. So into Tromsø, we're gonna do, well, first let's put in Tromsø, ENTC, and arrive 18 through Gilgu to Mike. And what approach do we want here? Okay, let's do an ILS. Let's change it up a bit. ILS Zulu. Let's select Zulu. And the map says, what's the transition here? I think it's Ogbod. Not loading, okay. There it is. No, it's non-Ru. Why is that not showing here? Okay, there it is. Okay, good. Just looking in the wrong place. That looks fine. Let's select it here. So, if you look here, if you're selecting our RMP approach, at least an LPV approach, you would get a channel number here. I don't think that's modeled. Maybe, well, I don't know why, but I don't recall seeing that at all. If we have a look here on the approach charts, let me just pull up. No, that doesn't have it. Did Andøya have it? Yeah. So Andøya's approach chart, you can see it has a EGNOS channel number. You're supposed to double check that in the FMS, but it doesn't really matter here. Let's close that. So the route's very easy. We're gonna depart northbound, do a turn to Gilgo, fly to Nonru, Ogbod, and then follow the approach. What's this? I don't. Oh, that's just Minus. Okay. So we'll look at this, but this is a 4-degree approach descent angle down over the mountains here, and the wind right now is pretty high. The 270 is 16 on the ground, but on the mountain it's gusting 39 from... actually, we're gonna have a tailwind coming in. Huh. Let's see. I'm gonna bring up the airport in my EFB and see the ATIS. Actually, they are landing 1.8. Interesting. But the ATIS is, well, it's 28 minutes old now. It's saying 240 at 6 knots, variable between 160 and 290. Feeble showers of rain, few 1000, scattered 4.6, broken 6.6, 11 degrees with 1021. Okay. Yeah, okay, we're just gonna do that. Since this aircraft is a bit of a pig to get down, we are going to have to watch out. So let's do a lighter load, nothing in the forward hold, there never is. If you have in a rear hold, it's usually everything gathered as far back as possible because this aircraft is nose heavy. Let's just do something like this. It's about 30 minutes or less. Again, 2000 in fuel is fine. Load summary. Confirm, start, fast. Giving us 23.4. Now it's the interesting part. Wait. Hey, it's correct. Cool. So maybe it had something to do with me doing... I reset the aircraft to ground while I was in air because, of course, when I was doing climb tests, I didn't want to fly up and down. So, yep. Well, okay, that's fine. So we have 36 passengers. I'm gonna put this in my EFB. Just one moment, I need to create a new flight. Select aircraft, departing Andøya. And let's arrive Tromsø. Flight number something random here, doesn't matter. Times doesn't matter, so. And weight and balance. I said 36 passengers. Let's do. It's usually most male and then fewer female, but giving the weights here, I'm doing more female, so let's do 10 male, 26 female. Spread them evenly in the cockpit. What was the weight back then? 398. And the fuel is set to 2030 again. Let's say 70 kilos of taxi fuel. And the OFP says how much should we burn? Trip 439, okay. Let's say 450, giving me 23.5, and this said 23.4. That's close enough for me. Let's go into the fuel. Page 20, 30, 36 passengers gives us 40 people on board. And we want this to be 23.4. Oh, oh, that's way too much. Yeah, that's close enough. Good, good. So flight plan, we're already checked. It's gonna be a departure on a heading straight out on 32, then a right turn to Gilgu. We are filed flight level 130. Let's put that here. 130. So then we're getting more reasonable heights all the way. Good, and then we'll check the ILS in the air, but it looks fine here. Yep. Very good. Getting dark. Let's do doors and then back to battery. Doors are closed. Pre-flight checklist is we don't do the flight tech item when we're just turning. That's if we have left the cockpit or taking over a new aircraft. Since we're not pushing here, I'm not going to bother with APU. We're just going to start on GPU. So battery switches are 4 on, reading 24.1. Hey, that's lower. Cool. It's simulating different GPUs. It's draining the batteries. No, we don't have external power on. Oh my god. That's bad. I forgot to turn it on. So now you can see it's charging. That's my fault. And yeah, that's more reasonable. Always do the checklists. Don't rush it. So we're gonna put this on 3.2. Altimeter is 1021, reading 50 feet. Park brake is on. Fuel is 2030, and seat signs are now on. We'll do dome lights now, just as we're starting up. That's checklist complete. Let's quickly do heading, go around altitude select. The initial climb was, well, it doesn't say here. We're gonna do 9 or 0 again. It's high mountains all over here, so. 9 or 0 set. And we have the same standard setup as last time. Good. Yeah, I think we've done everything then. Everything looks good here. Nothing's damn, it gets dark fast. So, for taxi here, we're gonna have to backtrack quite a bit. Yeah, so here's the terminal. There's something missing in the scenery here because this taxiway wasn't there, I think. It didn't look like it. Doesn't matter. We're gonna backtrack, go back here to Alpha 2, and then backtrack and take off northwest bound. That's fine. Bit weird lighting here as well. Cockpit windows. I think that's what we're seeing in here as well. It's a bit of a weird light, but yeah. Good, good. Let's get going. So, ground to cockpit ground. Departure complete. Good. We'll do the before start checklist. That's doors, fuel lights out. We can do these to bright now since it's dark outside. No, we can do dim, of course. And doors, fuel lights out. Anti-collision is red, and engines are cleared left and right side. And clear to start number 2. Starting 2. What are you complaining about now? Yes, this is the bug. If you are trying to start a second time, you have to press the start select or the starter switch twice. It's just gonna blink once, give a warning, and not do anything. So yeah, that's one of the bugs I had every time I tried to reset the aircraft. But okay, we have fuel, we have everything, it looks good. Oil pressure is coming up. Get out, that's good. Just waiting for the select switch to go out. Starting number 1, yeah, same bug. Captain can get his nav screen back. Very good. Start select switch, waiting for that to go out. Start complete. Disconnect the GPU. And let's say we have the all clear sign. Bring the props up. Now you can see, since I messed up with external power, they actually have a charge logic in the batteries. So this could be utilized to give us a drain, or make the drain count when you're starting the aircraft. Because now I would have to wait until all of these 3 go below 0.10 before I can change the screen back to nav. So, okay, let's just do the flows and see if they go down. It would take, I don't know, for these kinds of numbers, 5 minutes maybe 10. They're creeping down, so yeah, let's just see. Interesting. Okay, bus tag goes off. Let's do intake doors open, pedostatics, windows. Next light can come on. Test. Spoilers. Yaw damper. No. Weather radar. I even forgot the nose it's starting. Well, we didn't push. No matter. Flaps. Water feather. Tank aux pumps. Hydraulics. Test number 3. Elevator test. Turn it off. Wiggle the elevator. This one should go out when you do that. That's good. Off the start checklist. Bus tie is off. Spoilers. Taxi. Standby PTU on normal indications, autofire slag, tank, aux pumps on trims. We have 3 set, flaps, 5 set checked, all clear received, checklist complete. Next is taxi, and we can taxi while these numbers are going down. How far you want to taxi, that's another thing. I have spent twice about 10 to 15 minutes holding short of a runway, waiting for these numbers to come down. The best way is to run the engines, I've heard. Shutting down and connecting the GPU does not help anymore. Well, it does help, but it takes longer. So, yeah. We'll just taxi, and it seems like they're coming down at a reasonable rate, actually pretty decent compared to a real aircraft, so yay, thumbs up by GSM. This was a good thing. Please do this in a very reduced way for every startup. Simulate how the battery drain on a startup works like this. That would be cool. Good. Taxi. Cleared left, cleared right, and let's do this. Let's go out the way we came in. Let's not complicate this. The power is coming down, so I think it's gonna be good once we reach our takeoff point. Let's not forget the numbers. I'm just gonna do the quick one now. It's close enough, as you can see. Within a couple of knots, it's not anything you're gonna notice in real life. This should be F2, it is. So clear to line up. Let's see, start here. Good. For the numbers, so that's okay. Let's quickly fix that. There they are. What's the one? Data recorder. Oh, okay. There. The flight data recorder is actually connected to the beacon strobe button. So it's off when the beacon and strobe is off, but it turns off in both the beacon and strobe mode on that button. So we're having crosswind here, so I guess that's an over acceleration on X-Plane's part on wind effects on ground movement. I'm having to push a lot of left rudder just to keep it straight. Max ground speed should be 30 knots. Oh, I'm breaking the speed limits here. So, while taxiing down here, with this wind, we would wait with a gust lock until we are turned around or turned into wind. This is fine. Very low runway. Good, let's just stop here. Let's do some lights so everyone see what we're doing. So gust lock comes off. Let's do the control checks. Ailerons left, right, elevator up and down. Rudder was done by the captain before we started to taxi. We have all the lights on. The memory cue for us is for takeoff is turn the taxi light off. And the bleeds are off. Cabin coil ready for takeoff. And we are basically ready. So, checklist is caution warning lights clear, cabin clear received, flight controls checked, spoilers flight, checklist complete. Dome light goes off, and it's 0.11. We're seeing a positive trend. We're just gonna run with that. Back to nav, and that's good. My controls. Runway 32 heading 322. I did not do the transponder. Let's go. We had GA only though, so that's a bug as well. That power detent, power set. We're doing end top takeoff since it's gusting here. Okay, that's a gust. Hey, what are you complaining about? Rotate, positive rate. Gear up.
Too low, terrain, too low, terrain, too low, terrain.
Try to simulate to fix this.
Too low, terrain,
check,
too low, terrain,
select.
too low, terrain.
While we're just gonna keep heading.
Too low,
Corner
terrain, too
left
low,
zero.
terrain, too low, terrain, too low, terrain.
I'm gonna
too
do
low,
autopilot
terrain,
just now
too low,
because I
terrain,
need
too
to
low, terrain.
also turn the bleeds on. And norm. Flaps up checked. Let's climb power 900. Climb power set. Indicated airspeed 185. And right turn to Gilgu. So let's do direct Gilgu, enter and LNAV. Now it should turn by itself here. Let's do approach lights off. And ice protection props can come on. We're above the ocean. Let's do standard. And after departure flow, time checklist, gear is up, flaps 0. Pressurization is checked, altimeters standard, checklist complete. And let's just do 130 right away. 130 set, altitude select. Good. We're in the clouds. Let's just keep the seat signs on for now. And we can do a crosswind. I've not bothered with that today. I'm so used to them automatically cross-filling, so we can extend the range. So this is what we're gonna fly. Gilgu just up, and the Norway comes straight down 18 good Tromsø. And here let's do +2, get a local time. It says 25 minutes from now, but we're still in the climb. Looks like the weather is calming down. Let's see now. I'm pressing IS to get a pitch mode showed. So now I can use the spinning wheel here to change my pitch. Right now it worked. A lot of times it doesn't. You can try to change a pitch and you will see the crosshair starting to jump, but it doesn't actually change. So it's getting locked into whatever it is at that point, or I think actually a little bit higher. So in order to fix that, you have to just quickly turn off and on the autopilot and then select pitch again and you can change it. So another little autopilot bug there. But now it's climbing just as it should. Or if it should climb a little bit faster or slower, I don't know. It's within what I wouldn't react to. It's climbing fine. It's such a short climb anyway. But you can easily just put IS 160 and yeah, just shoot it straight up if you want to. If you have a lot of low level turbulence like ice protected, do it fast. Let's do a little bit. Do it fast. Hey, nice. That's cool. Altitude captured. 850 set. Cruising speed. Descend again. Okay. Oh, we have a little bit of tailwind now. That's good. Just getting over the clouds, that's nice. So, we don't have icing now, so we can turn these off. So, ice protection partial is the call. So, the indicated speed flying at lower levels will be higher than what you're getting up high, of course, at least when you're flying economy cruise. Economy speeds for us these days are 210 indicated. So let's say we have 255 indicated today, or thereabouts. And updated estimate is 13 minutes to observe. Meaning we need to get a VNAV profile in, and since we might get some tailwinds up high, yep, I'm gonna put it a bit lower, meaning we have to get down pretty soon. That's no big deal. Let's quickly check. Latest at Tromsø, it's still 1021. Good. And for the ILS here, non-Rudder, it's 5,000 feet. Well, let's start with 5,000 feet then. 5,000 feet set, altitude select, vertical speed selected, -500, VNAV is armed. And let's not forget the pumps this time. They should come on during the descent. We have a new policy, put them on below 10,000. It's just, if you put them on early, they're just running earlier. Well, wear and tear, you know, save money wherever you can. Maintenance costs as well. Where did the VNAV go? This is a bug. Amy, can you fix? What are you doing now? So we had a erroneous VNAV before kill Q. Okay, that was strange. Well, it seemed a bit early. Let's climb back up. Yep, let's do. Very slow climb. Let's just keep going here. And we're gonna input 181,800 again. That gives us the descent there. Yeah, okay, that seems better. A bit more power now. to stay on top as long as we can, of course. Since we're in and out of clouds, I'm gonna do... Okay, single lights on. Ice protection, that box goes back on. And we can turn off the logo light. It would be cool if they fixed the nav lights as well. You can see the scattering effect. It's probably supposed to be fine at about this distance. And zooming out, that gets zoomed out as well. So, I forgot some lights. That happens in real life all the time. But no caution lights. That's the most important thing. Back at 310, reduce power a bit. If anyone has any questions about the dash, just ask. One of the things we would have to monitor during, well, at least during cruise, is temperature. You can see the cabin temp here, and you can see the duct temp. Oh wow, that reacts fast. Holy. Okay. So you can see the duct temperature going into the cabin, and you can see duct going to the flight deck. The flight deck doesn't have a temp gauge. You are the gauge. So you and the captain can just fight over who wants it hot and cold. Luckily, most people like it a bit hotter, but I've flown with captains that are powered by a nuclear reactor and use the short sleeve shirt all year round, even in the snow, and just want to keep it cold. But I like it hotter. So, top of time is... No, top of descent is now coming up. Let's do vertical speed again. And cleared 5,000 first, of course. Altitude select, VNAV armed. And let's keep it coming down slowly. ILX is 109.9. Change that over. We have Tromsø VR 38. Let's see. Yeah, so we're 15 miles abeam the airport. I'm gonna keep the speed slower this time, since it's a straight cross now. That's gonna turn into a tailwind going on in on base, and a slight tail coming down. So I'm gonna just reduce it. Let's say we get a speed constraint for 220. Not unreasonable at all. You can get even lower, or in other cases you get keep high speed or 240 up and whatever. But the controllers also know that we are restricted. I think, I don't know if they know exactly the height, but below 10,000 we can start slowing down because we need to. So and they know that, at least in the areas where we fly. I forgot to put transponder to below. Let's do that. But we're not online, so it doesn't really matter. VNAV is captured, speed is creeping down. Let's turn it down more. Nice here. So I guess then is, yeah, That's the airport actually. Yeah. Cool. And the final approach course. Hold the format button. So you get it. You get a course 183. Hold format again. Down here is the format. So we have Isla Zulu localizer, Isla Zulu to runway 18 at Tromsø via Norway. Localizer 1099, approach course 183. And we have MSA coming in our sector 43 and 51 highs to 71 on the southeast side. In case of misapproach, straight ahead 3000 to 7.7 miles on the localizer DME, whichever is earlier. Right turn for us it's max 160 knots. It's a proceed on 101 to KV locator, climbing 5,000 feet in hold. We have all of that in here, KV and everything. We have non-roof 5,000. And Ogboard is also 5, Baxas 4.5, and just continue down. For turning in, speed is looking good. Let's just do some lights here. And turn on the logo light again. And we'll keep the speed coming well down now. We have a 30 plus knots tailwind. And we're very soon going to get the turn to the ILS. So let's tune the ILS here. And as soon as it turns, we're gonna do a couple of things right away. First, let's prepare here the heading. So, heading, vertical speed, ILS selected, approach armed. So we're getting localized around glide slope. And you can see the VNAV brought us straight in. Oh, I'm sorry, forgot about it. The VNAV brought us straight into the glide path. So now we can just keep the heading coming around, not as much as this. There, it captured both at the same time. Very cool. Now we have the problem of 220 and a 4-degree glide slope. 5,000 can stay for mist. That's the altitude select is out now since we have the glide slope. And let's see. Yeah, the speed is coming down, so that's good. Let's just keep going like this. And we have a distance as well. When we're 6-7 miles, we'll configure with gear and flaps. If you need to, you can do flaps 5 earlier, but now the speed is coming down, so I'm just going to keep about 200 knots on the approach. Also remember to turn off your ice protection. But right now we're just in moisture and precipitation. We're just going to keep it until we're sure that we're not going to have any icing problems at all. The rain here might be undercooled, super cold anyway, so let's just keep it going for now. But we are on the glide. We can do the same over here. And he should have done that, lazy captain. 3, so both are up. That will, when we are coming down to 1,200 feet, will give us a dual pole, or should give us a dual pole. So it's showing that it's using both ILS receivers to tune in on the correct path, and that's to give us the ability to do Cat 2 landings as well. So 8 miles, let's get the speed down here. Let it get away a little bit. And flying in ILS, you're gonna get a lot of nuisance messages, invalid, VNAV, whatever, and it's gonna be.
2,500.
And we forgot 1021. I didn't do the approach checklist. Approach checklist. It's briefing complete. VREF 115, target speed 130. QNH 1021. Complete.
Terrain.
Radio height.
Terrain. Terrain.
Ignore the
Terrain.
radio
Terrain.
height.
Terrain.
Or
Terrain.
terrain.
Terrain. Terrain.
Please fly this in. Fix
Terrain.
this. We have 102125. Gear down. Flaps 5. Gear to land. The taxi light on. Flaps 10 and 15. Condition levels max due to the wind. We have to do ice protection. Off. Let's keep about 140 here. We have gusts and straight crosswind contact. The red on speed tape, that's wrong. Could be way lower. I think it's still that's looking more like a ice increased ref speed. Let's do bleed min as well. Get land. Landing checklist, gear down. Free green, flaps 15, set and check. Condition levels max, wings check left and right. Cabin clear receive, checklist complete. Now we're on a 4-degree glide. So it's gonna seem way too high. But it's always a bit different coming in to a runway like this. Autopilot, disengage, still 20 knots crosswind. And X-plane. And it's some aircraft, it's not the best at modeling
500.
how crosswind is felt in the aircraft. It just feels sluggish, this stuff. It doesn't feel like the real aircraft landing it.
Terrain. Terrain.
But we're gonna try to do it better than Andøya.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Much better. Much better. And braking. Sixty knots. Your controls. Control locks on. Oh, let's do some lights here. Nice. The real aircraft, I can just feel my way around, or I know where everything is. Ah, come on, where is the click spot? Hello? Oh, there it is. Thank you. Got control lock on. Just comes up. Spoilers go off. Let's just taxi off. Undo the flow. First tire, anti-ice, everything off. Landing lights, beacon goes to red. You can do one bleed off if you're doing single engine taxi, but X-plane really doesn't like that. Push it over, and I forgot to come in. God damn it. Sys, fuel, sys, weather radar off. Good. Let's taxi over to where the dashes usually are, over at the end. And right now the first officer will already be starting to set up for the next leg, changing things, doing EFB work, stuff like that. Let's park 24 is fine. That's a normal dash 8 parking spot. Taxi light off. Park brake on and tether the props. GPU is coming in. Release the passengers and bleeds off. Emergency lights off. External power can come on. Pumps off. Transponder off. 2000 and off. Good, we have external power. And shut down. Very good. Beacon comes off. And that's it. We can also do battery and all this. Okay, so that's another bug. Yeah. You are supposed to do 4 off when you have external power, and it should still keep everything going. So we're not gonna do that. So that's a bug as far as I know. Yeah. Okay, shutdown checklist, park brake is on. Nose wheel steering goes off, external power is on, and battery switch is 4 off, but we can't do that because then it kills the lights. Yeah. So, I'm gonna update my bug list. I think I have most of it already, but some things to cover there. So let's hope they fix that. Anyway, for those of you following me tonight on the stream, thank you very much. It's always fun to have someone to talk to. And if you're watching this later on, please like, comment and subscribe, of course. It really helps. I intend to make more videos. It's just work and real life really gets in the way sometimes. But I'm in the process of fixing things in the house so I can get my own streaming room sometime during the fall, or yeah, I think it's during the fall. So that will make it much easier. So at least thank you, and hope everyone has a good day or good night wherever you are. See you next time. Bye bye.